What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a full duel for you guys to check out. This is going to go to distance, and this is between Mermail and Vendreads. Obviously, Vendreads, new TCG exclusive archetype. Mermail are one of the old favorites from Zexal. I think this is a very unique matchup because it's kind of between two archetypes that have their own struggles. Mermail are, man, you can look at Spiral, and that deck is just like what Mermail wishes it was right now. And obviously, it can OTK just as easily as Mermail can, but Spirals have so many ways of going first and just locking up their opponent's plays with the sleeper disruption, and then obviously having like Firewall, and then in a couple of weeks we're going to have Tri-Gate Wizard, which is just going to be another way to disrupt your opponent, and you have traps and DD Crow and all that good stuff. So, you know, Mermail are kind of looking up at Spiral and thinking, man, remember during Zexal when we were like kind of that deck? And then obviously you have Vendreads. Man, they're still looking to get off the ground. The problem with Vendreads is I think the rituals are fine. I just think the supporting cast is just not that good, and the traps are just, they're not good. People said the second trap was it's not good. You know what I mean? I still feel like Vendreads are just, they're honestly, when I play them, it's just like zombie deck, make as many Omegas as possible. And at that point, it's like, why am I even playing the Vendreads? Like, why don't I just play zombies? You know what I mean? So anyways, let's go ahead and roll this. I don't think I need much more setup than that. I think Vendreads are going first, which I would not go first with the deck because there are no real good proactive plays. Making Slayer turn 1 does nothing. Slayer doesn't give any tangible advantage. So honestly, Vendreads going first, the only thing you want to do is make Omega. Again, Omega.deck. So I don't really think Vendreads should ever go first unless you just like are playing Floodgates out the ass and it's game 2 and you need to draw a Floodgate to beat your opponent. And obviously going first against Mermail is just like, they're like, thank God. You know what I mean? We can go second. We open up with Net the Best, and we could pretty much just go in at this point. I found it weird that he searched Marksman, considering like his opponent had no cards in the back row, so I thought maybe he should have just searched Infantry, and it could have just easily popped the Unizombie, which I definitely would have used Ash Forehead onto, because if you stop Unizombie, they've already normal summoned. They have nothing in the graveyard for like Soul Charge or anything like that, Book of Life, so you know they really can't do much of anything. And this is going to be a very simple OTK here. The Megalo is able to attack twice, 3,200 attack. He still has attacks from Teus, and then he still has an attack from Dragoon. So first duel definitely was a complete wash for Vendreads. Like the deck didn't really do anything, didn't get off the ground. I believe that he does force Mermail to go first in game 2. He's able to ash the Mermail player this time. Problem is, like when Mermail get ashed, usually if you have Net the Best, you send Dragoons to the graveyard, so you still get the search off the Dragoons anyway. So you're actually in a pretty favorable position, especially considering he follows that up with Pot of Neck 9, and it's like, bro, he has more cards than you now. You know what I mean? This guy has like 7 cards and you have like 5, so that's definitely not how you want to open. But he's able to recover that, you know, that deficit with an easy preparation of rights, and now he has Shiranui Sage. Shiranui Sage is going to get the Unizombie, which he can now start synchroning. And he didn't go for Omega, but he actually went for Bills, which I think is pretty good. Like, how does Mermail actually kill Bills? Bills is such a hard card for that deck to kill because it's immune to, obviously, if they summon like Megalo, they equipped it with one of their equips and make it really big, doesn't matter. They can't pop it with Infantry, so it's just a really difficult card to get rid of. I think Abyss Gaios plus something could get rid of it. Now, I didn't really like this play. I understand he's desperate, but he activates a second Pot of Desires, and you never, I believe that you never want to resolve 2 desires in a duel, because I believe that after you resolve the second desires, you basically have to win that turn. Otherwise, you're kind of in the danger zone from decking out, and you guys notice he only has 2 cards left in his deck. So his opponent could potentially stall him out. He did lose Bills though, so you know, at least there's that. He got rid of Bills. Now he's getting beat down by Mistar Boy and whatnot, and he has the Teus on board. He's gonna summon a couple of his Vendreads back. Now this was a play that confused the hell out of me, right? So any of you guys, most of you guys probably know what the Abyss Scale Mizuchi does. It negates the next spell that's activated. So he sets a copy of Galaxy Cyclone, and like, I don't understand why he used it, because this was going to be negated by the Michizuchi anyways. So I don't know, I feel like he just uses his Cosmic Cyclone for no reason at all. I didn't get any value out of it, so I mean, whatever. He's going to continue on. pressing. The Vendred monster does come back, and right now he's not really getting anywhere. He goes Gozuki, that's going to get hit with Ash Forehead, but that does open up the door for him to just go into a rank 4. Utopia the Lightning, I would have attacked over Mr. Boy, personally. I mean, even without knowing my opponent has the Dark Hole, I just felt like getting rid of Mr. Boy because, you know, he floats and whatnot. I just wouldn't have wanted to deal with that. And even though he has a Megalo, he has no searches with Dragoons, and again, this is why you don't play 2 Pot of Desires, because now he has no deck and he just has to give up. He didn't know TK, he wasn't able to finish off his opponent, so I don't know. I'm down for playing 3 Pot of Desires in decks. I'm just not down for activating 2 of them in a duel. If you activate the first one and you don't get there, you have to change your game plan to like grind out, man. Because if you activate that second Desires and you don't win that turn, you basically just you just committed suicide there. So Vendred's going first. He does summon Slayer. I believe it was at the cost of a Ghost Ogre. And oh my god, what? He gave up a Ghost Ogre and an Ash Forehead. Oh my god. There's another problem with this deck. It's just Brick City. This is the most desperate summon I've ever seen in my life. Like, I would have rather just left, you know what? I would have rather just left my field open and played with 2 hand traps than to summon a Slayer, which is gonna probably die anyways. I don't know. I don't really get that play. That's 2 defensive cards. It just ends up getting Kaiju'd, and now, you know, Mermail, him having a second Kaiju was just the nail in the coffin, because Mermail can easily OTK. Basically, all he would have needed to get to was either a 1-for-1 or to like hard draw Nephthybis, which he didn't have to do. I guess, you know what? There's a third option. He could just summon it off Deep Sea Diva. He's able to easily pop the Gamma with the copy of Infantry, and then here it's just, you know, basic stuff. You can just tribute the Nephthybis. Nope, instead he goes for Mistar Boy, activates Surface, and I believe he killed his own Mistar Boy for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, he has game anyways, but that was a very questionable game 3. I think it really just showcases one of the problems with Vendred. They have like no real good defensive traps, but at the same time, like ritual summoning turn 1, there aren't that really good, like there are really no good monsters to ritual summon turn 1 in like Yu-Gi-Oh, unless it's like Herald of Perfection or the Necros of Unicorn or stuff like that. So I don't know. The deck is definitely in a tight spot. Maybe an Extreme Force will get some cards that will save it. I don't think so. I think both of these TCG exclusive archetypes are just complete washes, to be honest. So whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy the match. Thank you guys for watching. As always, turn on those notifications for daily videos and subscribe if you have not already.